Hi students, today we are going to start with James Boswell. James Boswell. And yes students, just message me on the box so that I may be able to see your presence here. James Boswell was born in 1740 and he died in 1795. Clear? So James Boswell, as you must have read, is a big name who secured his position in English literature by assuring the immortality of Samuel Johnson. कैसे उसने सैमुअल जॉनसन को इमॉर्टल बना दिया? उसको इमॉर्टल बनाने से जेम्स बॉसवेल हो गया. Why? Because he was simply he became a great author by writing the life of Samuel Johnson. And as a man, he was of wide experiences and he had a lot of interest. Since 1840, thousands of pages of papers, letters, diaries, thought to have been destroyed by his literary executors. And one of the most spectacular was, you can say, we found was uncovered in the 1920s where in an old Irish castle. और 1950 में general publication of this great collection began with Boswell's London Journal. Boswell London Journal. Neha, Jatin, good evening. All the students just come here on the WhatsApp, or sorry, on the message box. And this collection, in 1950, the general publication of this great collection began with Boswell's London Journal. अब इसकी डेट मैं आपको बता दूं, 1762, 1762 to 1763. For the first time, the world came to know Boswell as he had been. पूरा दुनिया उसको जान पाया जैसा वो था. कैसा था? He was a moody man, and he was a man who took his color from his company. He was a snobbish man. He was a aggressive man, and at the same time, he was able to win over almost anybody because of his charm. उसके अंदर charm ऐसा था कि वो किसी की भी दिल को जीत लेता था. And as far as his early life is concerned, he is nearly very much away from Dr. Samuel Johnson. Boswell was born into a Scottish family, and that family was wealthy, powerful, and also they had a good position. And it was basically with Johnson, Dr. Johnson, that Boswell basically got a lot of respect, and Boswell noted his friends every conversation. उसके दोस्तों की सभी conversations को वो नोट करता था, उनकी habit को नोट करता था, and peculiarity with fidelity, that he was more than a sycophant. That he was more than a sycophant who appealed to some person's quirk in the older manner. And अगर हम बाहर से डॉक्टर जॉनसन को देखें, according to Boswell literary circle, Boswell collected and such celebrities जो कि अपने आप में बड़े celebrities थे और philosophers थे. So this is what I'm going to tell you about James Boswell. Clear? आपने लिख लिया? Now, I'll tell you about the journals, about the personal journals जो आपको लिखना है. Clear? उसका एक जर्नल का नाम है Journal of a Tour to the Hebrides. मैं लिख दूं, ब्लैक बोर्ड में लिख दूं, क्या आप नोट कर लोगे? Because writing takes time and I have to teach a lot. उसके जो पर्सनल जर्नल्स थे बॉसवेल के, उसको लिख लीजिए, Journal of a Tour to the Hebrides. Hebrides की ये स्पेलिंग है. जर्नल ऑफ अ टूर टू द हेब्रिडीज. और दूसरा जर्नल था जर्नल ऑफ अ टूर टू कॉर्सिका. 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 In these journals, he has tried to examine his own character, his own actions, and with open eyes. Now, after going into this brief descriptions of James Boswell, we are proceeding towards the life of Dr. Samuel Johnson. Life of Dr. Samuel Johnson. See, the life of Samuel Johnson. The life of Samuel Johnson. When this book was published in 1791, Boswell was criticized by many people, frankly revealing all the Johnson's weaknesses as well as the idiosyncrasies, as well as his strength, as well as his virtues. And time slowly, हर चीज क्या होता है कि समय होत बलवान. समय हर चीज को प्रूव कर देता है कि क्या अच्छा है, क्या बुरा है, क्या हमें लेना है, क्या नहीं पढ़ना है, और समय ही बहुत बड़ी कीमत होती है. तो यहाँ पे भी time has proved Boswell correct, where in his belief that the greatness of his subject would enable him to withstand such exposure, which he has done through that biography. And the biography has resulted in the lasting fame for the miraculous subject matter and the author's candidature. कई सालों तक बॉसवेल की इमेज ने बहुत सफरिंग ली फ्रॉम सम थॉमस मैकॉलेज पिक्चर ऑफ हिम एज अ क्लाउनिश पपी. उसकी इमेज को टार्निश करने की कोशिश की, एंड जो कि जॉनसन को फॉलो करते थे, उसके ऊपर फोन करते थे एंड वेट करते थे for the great man to throw him a bone of wit, but hardly matters. मैंने आपसे बताया ना कि समय बहुत बड़ी चीज है. So समय से बॉसवेल भी बॉसवेल हो गया, और डॉक्टर जॉनसन तो खैर वो हीरा थे ही. अब हम बात करेंगे बॉसवेल के उस लंदन जर्नल के बारे में जो मैंने आपको बताया अभी 2 मिनट पहले, 1762 to 1763. And this London journal by Boswell, what it is a detailed account of a 22-year-old Scot who fled from the parental authority and sought in London excitement and independence of man as a man about town. यहाँ पे बॉसवेल ने ये दिखाया है अपने को कि he is a many-sided man, very sophisticated, very pleasure-loving, virtue-seeking, serious person, but never dull. So this London journal was the first of these papers to be published and became both the bestseller as well as one of the works which is still is read by the teachers, the professors, the scholars, and it is a name in the literary history. ये जो लंदन जर्नल है, ये किस चीज पे प्रकाश डालता है? ये प्रकाश बॉसवेल पे तो डालता ही डालता है, not only on Boswell himself, but the journal throws a complete light on the friendship with Dr. Johnson. So that is of great importance, that how great was Boswell, that who initiated and who made such everlasting work of everlasting value for in the literary field. To move ahead, we will go with next is यहां देखिए मैंने बच्चों लिखा है ओजी. Who will tell me the full form of OG and what I want to convey you? What is the name of this author? What is the name of this author? It is my request to all those students who are live with me here. They should message me here so that I may be able to know that all of you are live. If the students are absent, so otherwise I will take it that some of you are absent and some of you are present. So whoever is watching here, they should just give a good evening, good afternoon, so that I may be able to mark their presence. Okay? Yeah, Shreya, Oliver Goldsmith. OG means Oliver Goldsmith, which we are now going to target. 1728 to 1774. यहां पे ये ध्यान दीजिएगा कि ओलिवर गोल्डस्मिथ अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा नाम है. ही इज अ वर्सिटाइल पर्सन, अ वर्सिटाइल एंड अमेजिंग मैन, एंड बहुत कम ऐसे लिटरेचर में लोग होते हैं जो कि अमेजिंग हो, वर्सिटाइल हो और उनका इतना नाम हो जाए. ये कई तरीकों से इसने काम किया लिटरेचर की फील्ड में एंड बिकेम रिमार्केबल, एंड his fame and popularity started growing up in many fields of literature, and he turned to different types of literature and turned to writing only as a last resort. ये आखिरी उसका कह सकते हैं उसका ये था कि वो लिटरेचर की तरफ मूव किया. क्यों? क्योंकि इसके पहले जितने भी एंडिवर्स उसने किए, जितने भी कोशिश उसने अपनी अर्निंग के लिए किया, सब कुछ अनसक्सेसफुल हो गया. So he was engaged in many unsuccessful endeavors, after which his last resort was turning towards different types of literature. Clear? Getting my point? And he also did some writings for his first published book, that is द मंथली रिव्यू. द मंथली रिव्यू उसने अपने लिए ही इस मैगजीन के लिए, इस पब्लिकेशन के लिए काम किया, द मंथली रिव्यू. एंड ही ऑल्सो इसकी एक पहली किताब थी जिसका नाम है, पहले तो आप लिख लीजिए कि ही डिड सम राइटिंग्स फॉर द मंथली रिव्यू. ये एक मैगजीन जर्नल रही होगी जिसके लिए उसने कुछ राइटिंग्स लिखा. और अपनी पहली किताब जो उसने पब्लिश कराई उसका नाम है The Memoirs of a Protestant Condemned to the Galleys. The Memoirs of a Protestant Condemned in the Galleys. Galleys. 1758 का वर्क है, and this was his first published book which translated from the French. फ्रेंच से ट्रांसलेट की गई थी. Goldsmith was a very irresponsible man. And because of his irresponsibility, this irresponsibility basically kept him in poverty throughout his life. जब हम responsible नहीं होंगे तो हम पैसा कैसे कमाएंगे? So he was a very irresponsible man, which kept him poor all through his life. And Dr. Johnson's devotion to him was the envy of Boswell, whose jealousy is apparent in the comments about this coarse and vulgar man. और उसको कोट एंड कोट में उसने लिखा है, a curious, old, pedantic fellow with some genius. Curious भी है, old भी है, pedantic भी है, but having some genius overall. He was seldom profound but never boring, and he used to overcome a lot of harsh circumstances, used to write with lightheartedness, and used to give a cool picture of life. And his prose style is known for its unique intermingling of the formal as well as the colloquial language. colloquial language वो होती है जो हम रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में बात करते हैं एक दूसरे से. तो उसका जो प्रोज स्टाइल है, इट इज बेसिकली अ ब्लेंडिंग ऑफ द फॉर्मल एज वेल एज द colloquial language, and his own personal grace, clarity and kindliness would be seen in his works. एक ऑथर का नाम सुना होगा आपने, ऑथर कह रहे हैं, एक्टर का नाम सुना होगा, बड़ा एक्टर है, डेविड गैरिक. डेविड गैरिक जो था, in an epitaph written just in jest, characterized the writer, means Goldsmith, and his work. उसके बारे में, उसके वर्क के बारे में उसने एक एपिटाफ लिखा है उसके लिए. उसमें लिखा है, here lies Goldsmith for shortness called, who wrote like an angel and talked like poor Paul. So ये कोट एंड कोट उसने लिखा है डेविड गैरिक ने, who was a big actor. So अगर हम गोल्डस्मिथ की बात कर रहे हैं, so he is a author who has been given the distinction of producing lot of essays, even poems, novels, even comedy, which used to be read and enjoyed even today. But the first success which he got was his collection of essays, which I told you yesterday also, that is The Citizen of the World, which was followed by The Vicar of Wakefield, and which this story, The Vicar of Wakefield, tells a story about the English country life. Then we got The Deserted Village in 1770, and this deserted village is a portrayal of life in an Irish village, which is similar to the one in which the poet himself grew. ऐसा आयरिश विलेज का उसमें डिस्क्रिप्शन है जिसमें शायद वो खुद बड़ा हुआ था. And this poem, The Deserted Village, expresses the growing interest in the middle and the 18th century rural settings with humble lives and sentimental, where the subject matter pointing towards some romantic movement. Then again, there is a work, She Stoops to Conquer. She Stoops to Conquer आपने नाम सुना होगा, जिसका सब टाइटल है The Mistakes of the Night. The Mistakes of the Night, which is again a robust comedy with full of liveliness and wit, imparted wit to English drama. So this is what has to be read in Oliver Goldsmith. Clear? आपने नोट कर लिया? थोड़ा लिख लीजिए जितनी भी चीजें मैंने आपको बताई हैं. Now, students, we are going to start the next development in this category, the non-fiction. That is a very important section of literature. Prose of the Romantic Age. Nisarga, good afternoon. Yes, today I saw you for the first time. Otherwise, you are never through the messages. Now we are going to specialize with the prose of the Romantic Age. And we always know कि जब हम रोमांटिक एज पढ़ते हैं तो रोमांटिक एज जैसे ही हमारे सामने आता है हमारे दिमाग में सिर्फ पोइट्री घूमने लगती है. बट नो, रोमांटिक एज specializes for so many things. And we also came to know about one of the most specialized prose writers and big names, three names: Charles Lamb, William Hazlitt, and Thomas De Quincey. Charles Lamb, William Hazlitt, and Thomas De Quincey, who are considered to be very high rank prose writers. As far as the 18th century prose writers are concerned, they are dependent on the assumptions about what will suit, कौन सी prose style हमें suit करेगी different purposes के लिए, which they wanted to share with the public, and the public was sophisticated. जो writers romantic period में थे, writers of the romantic period were actually more concerned with the subject matter and the emotional expression, because emotion was the cup of tea for every romantic writers, and that emotional expression was considered to be the appropriate style. Why? Because they used to write for an audience which was too big, and this was basically the spontaneity which came out even in the prose passages. And we can emphatically say that there was a decline of the grand style of Milton, the epical style of Milton, that was not to be found. And though some of the romantic poets like Coleridge, Shelley, Keats, Byron wrote some excellent pieces of prose in their critical writings, letters, journals, and even some of the novelists like Walter Scott and Jane Austen. Jane Austen was also a master of prose style, and she was also an excellent in the art of prose writing, as was Lamb, Hazlitt, and De Quincey. Now we will proceed towards Charles Lamb, who was a great writer indeed and had the reputation for one of the most charming essayists, Charles Lamb, and that charm we could easily find in his writings. And as far as his own personal nature is concerned, he was a man who had an instinct of friendship latent, मतलब छुपी हुई. Wordsworth, Coleridge, Robert Southey, Leigh Hunt, William Hazlitt, they were all very good friends of Charles Lamb. Charles Lamb was also a great conversationalist. अच्छे से बात कर पाता था, which is very much evident in his great essays. Even when we read Charles Lamb as a student, as a researcher, as teachers, we will fall in love with Charles Lamb's personal essays. He writes so well. I still remember when I was in MA English in the department of University of Allahabad, his personal essays like Dream Children and etc., they used to appeal like anything. And I still remember that I used to read his essays 2 times, 3 times, even 5 times. So such is the charm of Charles Lamb. हम उसको एक दोस्त मान बैठते हैं. So that is something which is very interesting in his personality and ultimately in his works. किसका बेटा था Charles Lamb? He was a son of a lawyer's clerk who was born in London, and when he visited Wordsworth and Coleridge, where in the Lake District, उसने ये माना कि he is missing London and he wishing to return again. इसने एक बार लिखा है वर्ड्सवर्थ को कहीं पे that I have passed all my days in London until I have formed as many and intense local attachments. मतलब हमने बहुत समय गुजारा है लंदन में, लेकिन हमने जो लोकल अटैचमेंट्स किया है वो वाकई में it is worth noticing and worth keeping in my heart. He used to work as an accountant in the East India House for 30 years, and uh, he retired at he retired, which he has described in his essay, The Superannuated Man. द सुपर एनुएटेड मैन, इसका ऐसे है, ये कई बार नेट पे पूछा भी जा चुका है. एंड लैम also has tried at different types of writing. He has also written some poems like The Old Familiar Faces. Poetry was not his cup of tea, but then too he tried his hands at that genre too. As far as Essays of Elia is concerned, which I'm sure you must have read, Lamb's Essays of Elia, which first appeared in 1820, which became very popular, and Charles Lamb's reputation chiefly rests on this Essays of Elia. Essays of Elia. Nisarga, my voice might not be breaking. I think from your end the network might be little bit slow. Otherwise, I'm sure my voice is audible properly to all the students. Are you able to hear, all my students, are you here able to hear properly? So that it will be clear that suppose if you are not getting my voice properly, this means there might be some network from your end. Now, सबसे बड़ी जो जिम्मेदारी थी लैम की, वो थी उसकी बहन मैरी, जिसको कि मेंटल इलनेस था और उसको फिट्स आते थे. एंड ड्यूरिंग वन ऑफ हिज हैप्पियर पीरियड्स ऑफ मैरी, means ki she and brother Charles Lamb, they collaborated on a children's book which everybody has read. You also must have read, that is Tales from Shakespeare. And when Lamb was 21, his sister Mary stabbed their mother to death. So what happened? For a short time she was committed to asylum and was released through the influence of many friends, and Lamb promised that now he will guard her, and for the rest of the life he cared for his sister, sending her to the institution and resuming their companionship together where she was recovering. But he feared that the family insanity was hereditary. क्योंकि फैमिली हिस्ट्री थी इसके साथ, लैम ने अपनी बहन की वजह से कभी शादी नहीं की. So after he got his retirement, he and Mary moved to a country house near London, where 9 years later, 9 साल के बाद उसकी भी डेथ हो गई. Clear? एक क्वेश्चन एक बार आया था, ये इलिया कौन है? हाउ डज द वर्ड इलिया केम? जैसे है ना एसेज ऑफ इलिया, इसके बाद एक और ऐसे आता है लास्ट एसेज ऑफ इलिया. तो ये दोनों के बारे में पूछा गया है और इलिया के बारे में भी पूछा गया है. तो हो सकता है कि आप लोगों को पता हो, जिनको नहीं पता है उनके लिए मैं बता दूं कि इलिया वॉज अ पर्सन, अ मेल पर्सन हु वॉज वर्किंग विद हिम इन दिस कंपनी, ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी. सो ही वॉज वेरी मच क्लोज, ही वॉज वेरी क्लोज टू दिस फ्रेंड इलिया, और उसके नाम से, उसका बहुत अच्छा फ्रेंड था चार्ल्स लैम्ब, तो उसके नाम पे ये पड़ा है एसेज ऑफ इलिया. So this question was once many times asked that who is Elia in the Essays of Elia. तो उसमें ऑप्शन दिया कि वो फ्रेंड है या कौन है, तो accordingly you can note it down. So this was a brief description on this topic about Charles Lamb. Now I'll tell something about the Essays of Elia and some essays like My Relations. My Relations एक essay है which is a autobiographical essay, and this autobiographical essay tells about Lamb's aunt and about his elder brother John. उसकी जो aunt होती है My Relations में, उनका नाम है Sarah Lamb. Sarah Lamb, she was a religious lady and she used to love Lamb a lot, very much. And John, who was the elder brother of Lamb, has been portrayed as a mixture of lot of contradictions. And in this essay, Lamb has also tried to justify the reader by declaring that he has no brother and sister. So the readers accept his brother and aunt with reservation. And the essay also shows love he regarded for his auntie and his brother John. And this essay has also the underlying vein of humor. So always remember, students, that suppose if you are doing something, some topic, some author, always go for the detailed study of their works for which they are known. It is technically impossible for you to teach everything in detail, but according to my you can say expert guidance, I take everything which has to be at least completed by every student of English, which they might not have completed either in their BA days or even in their MA. Now there is an essay known as Imperfect Sympathies. Imperfect Sympathies. And what is this about? This essay tells about the feelings of Lamb, and so this essay is also regarded as his personal essay. And this essay is a great example of Lamb's frankness, which is full of national and religious prejudices, and which shows Lamb's character. And the various examples which he has given in this essay adds a lot of humor to this essay. And he has also given no valid reason for disliking any of the four. And what are these four people? He has given no valid reason for disliking. Disliking whom? These four. And what are these four? The Scottish, the Jews, the Negroes and the Quakers. सपोज करिए कि हमने क्वेश्चन में आपसे ये पूछा कि वो चार लोग कौन हैं जिनको वो डिसलाइक करता है और उसके लिए रीजन भी नहीं बताता, वो कौन सा ऐसे है. एंड सो I think you are able to understand my point. Ki this net examination is an exam where you cannot identify anything. It is just the hit and trial method. You read so much, nothing will come. You read this much, everything is going to come. So हमें अपना कर्म करना है, वो भी सच्चाई से, वो भी ऑनेस्टी से. Then God gives you the result. कि नहीं, इस बच्चे ने बहुत मेहनत की है और अब इसको हमें निकलवाना है विथ प्रॉपर ऑनेस्टी. एंड देन भाग्य आता है. कर्म के बाद भाग्य आता है. हम कर्म करेंगे नहीं और हम सोचेंगे मेरी किस्मत खराब थी, मेरा सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ. इट इज एग्जैक्टली नॉट लाइक दैट. बिकॉज आई हैव सच अ वास्ट एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ दिस एग्जाम पर्टिकुलरली कि मैं आपको सैकड़ों, हंड्रेड्स एंड हंड्रेड्स ऑफ एग्जांपल्स अपने स्टूडेंट्स का बता सकता हूं जिन्होंने लखनऊ आकर के 20, 22, 25, 30 दिन हमसे सिर्फ पढ़ा है ड्यू टू कंस्ट्रेंट्स ऑफ फैमिली एंड टाइम, एंड दे हैव क्वालिफाइड इन द फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट. और ऐसे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिन्होंने जान प्राण तक निकाल के रख दिया. दे कुड नॉट क्वालिफाई इन अ सिंगल अटेम्प्ट. सो इट डज नॉट मीन, अब आप मेरी बात पहले समझ गए होंगे कि हम क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं, कि इट इज नॉट कि आप इतना 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 पढ़ लें एंड यू आर क्वालिफाइंग. यू कैन इवन रीड दिस मच, सिंक्रोनाइज रीडिंग, प्रॉपर रीडिंग, मास्टर रीडिंग, फॉलोइंग ऑल माई सिस्टम एंड योर सेल्फ स्टडी प्रॉपर एंड सी व्हाट हैपेंस. आपका माइंड बहुत शार्प होना चाहिए ड्यूरिंग व्हेन यू आर segregating the options. The next essay, one of the most popular essay, the entire world knows about this essay, The Dream Children, which is again a great autobiographical essay which covers a greater part of Charles Lamb's life and which tells about his own grandmother, Sarah Field, who loved him so much, and his elder brother, John Lamb. Clear? Now, you will also read the story of Dream Children. If you don't have this essay, you should purchase Charles Lamb's Essays of Elia. This is a complete book like this by Dr. Rakul Tilak or some other author, Ramji Lal. It has a complete collection. हम लोग के MA में तो prescribed थी, तो we have. In that you can read most of the details, most of the essays with proper details. So उसमें आप इसकी कहानी भी पढ़ लेंगे. क्लियर? तो ड्रीम चिल्ड्रन आप लिख लीजिए. नेक्स्ट, Oxford in the Vacation. Write it down. Oxford in the Vacation. This is again a autobiographical essay. And in this essay, which is considered to be a remarkable essay for its picture of George Dyer, G-O-R-G-E, George Dyer. This is remarkable. This essay is remarkable for its picture of George Dyer, who is a friend of Lamb. The next essay which you are going to study is Christ Hospital. Very famous essay. Christ Hospital. Apostrophe S लगा दीजिए. Again autobiographical essay. And this is autobiographical essay where Lamb, as a student of this Christ hospital, and he has given a dark side of this hospital, that is this college, Christ Hospital uska naam hai, and he describes the poor quality of food given to the students, boys here, their miserable condition during summer, during winter holidays, and how they suffer under the cruel monitors. He also describes here the various types of punishment given to the students at a very tender age, and this essay has been written in the first person throughout. कौन सा essay है चार्ल्स लैम्ब का जो चार्ल्स लैम्ब ने फर्स्ट पर्सन में लिखा है? It is Christ Hospital, which is full of liberty, which is full of biblical, historical and mythological allusions, adding a lot of charm to the essay. Then I'm going to take here the last essay in little bit detail, that is the convalescent. Spelling, check it. Write it C-O-N-V-A-L V-A-L-E-S-C-E-N-T. The convalescent. In this essay, Charles Lamb has tried to describe the feelings of man during sickness, and the essay shows how such ordinary people or topic as convalescent can become so much interesting in the hands of a skilled essayist like Lamb. And the feelings and positions of a sick man are very well described in this essay. And he has been compared with king and is one responding a politician. So this essay is convalescent, is written in a very simple language, and it has a blend mean mixing of fact, fiction, कल्पना और सच्चाई का एक मिश्रण है. Apart from these essays, just write a pen and just note it down, because only the names I am going to take apart from the essays which I have discussed. The South Sea House, right? The South Sea House, Valentine's Day, poor relations, and imperfect sympathies. बाकी मैंने बहुत सारे आपको करा दिए हैं. Clear? The next which I am going to take here is हाँ, एक क्वेश्चन मैं पूछना चाहता हूं बच्चों आपसे कि चूंकि अब काफी दिन हो गया है हम लोग को पढ़ते हुए, शायद हमारा स्टाइल हमारा वे ऑफ टीचिंग आप समझ पा रहे होंगे, कोर्स कंटेंट आपको नॉलेज है ही है। मुझे बस यहाँ मैसेज पे ये बताइए कि जिस प्रकार से हमने अपना ये नया सिस्टम डेवलप किया है आपको पढ़ाने के लिए, ड्रामा, पोइट्री, फिक्शन, नॉन फिक्शन, ये हमारे लिए जानना बहुत जरूरी है कि जितनी भी चीजें हम आपको पढ़ा रहे हैं आपको सब समझ में आ रही हैं और बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि हाँ सर, हमको अब लग रहा है कि कोई हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं प्रॉपर तरीके से। सो जस्ट गिव मी अ मैसेज, yes, that yes sir, we are going on the right track. Most of the students just give me this feeling that whatever मेहनत हम लोग जो कर रहे हैं, that is giving us the right track, and before it you were actually not following the right path, how to study, what to study and what not to study. अभी तो ये शुरुआत है, अभी तो बहुत आगे जाना है। So I hope that most of the students just give me a message that yes sir, और किसी भी चीजों में अगर कोई चेंजेस अगर आपको चाहिए कि क्या कमी रह गई तो ये आप ही बता पाओगे, क्योंकि वैसे तो हमें 21 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस है पढ़ाने का, तो आपको मतलब वैसे कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन हाँ हम आपसे भी सीखते हैं और सीखेंगे। तो यू आर ऑलवेज वेलकम टू टेल मी कि सर ऐसे अगर हो जाता, वैसे हो जाता, या इसको ऐसे कर ले, वैसे कर ले, तो इट वुड बी, आई वुड अप्रिशिएट दोज थिंग्स। सो नेहा, निसर्गा, श्रेया, Jatin, and so many students who are not, I'm not able to watch you on the message box. You may message me with open heart that yes sir, we are on the right track and we are happy. Saman, okay, we are going in the systematic way and it is very helpful. It is your message. Thank you Saman. I hope you will be it is going to help you a lot. सो आई होप कि सभी स्टूडेंट्स का यही मत होगा, और अगर किसी को भी कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो हमें आप बता सकते हैं। यस, कंटिन्यूइंग विद विलियम हैजलिट नाउ। If Fabina, you are in my class, just give me your presence here. Fabina from Kannur, if you are here in my class, if you are present in my class, just give me your hello so that I may know that yes, you are in my class today. So William Hazlitt, 1778 to 1830. 1830. Who was William Hazlitt, students? He was actually opposite of Lamb. लैम्ब एक तरफ खड़ा कर दीजिए और सामने खड़ा कर दीजिए हैजलिट को। लैम्ब बहुत स्वीट टेम्परामेंट का था, हैजलिट वायलेंट टेम्परामेंट का था। एंड विलियम हैजलिट का जो जजमेंट होता था दूसरों के लिए, इट वॉज ऑलवेज पॉइंट ब्लैंक, फ्रैंक, और ये बिल्कुल नहीं वो सोचता था कि हम अगर ऐसा बोल देंगे या ऐसा उसके बारे में कहेंगे तो उसका क्या इफेक्ट होगा। बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, हमें परवाह नहीं होती कि हम जो बोल दें उसको टच करेगा या नहीं करेगा। सो ही वॉज जस्ट अपोजिट ऑफ लैम्ब। एक समय की बात है जब इंग्लैंड वॉज एंगेज्ड इन अ वेरी वेरी बिटर स्ट्रगल against Napoleon. Hazlitt worshipped him as a hero, and so he came in conflict with the government, and his friends left him one by one. Why? Because of his aggressive nature. And at that time of his death, केवल उसके डेथ के में उसके पास कौन खड़ा था? कोई नहीं, केवल लैम्ब खड़ा था। It was only Charles Lamb who stood beside him at the time of his death, and there was nobody else. So that is something which literature teaches you. हम अगर लिटरेचर के स्कॉलर हैं, लिटरेचर से प्यार करते हैं, लिटरेचर के स्टूडेंट हैं, तो हमें बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है हमारे हजारों बड़े ऑथर्स से। कि देखिए, आज इनडायरेक्टली हम ये सिखा रहे हैं आपको थ्रू विलियम हैजलिट कि वन शुड नेवर हैव possess a nature which is aggressive. एग्रेशन से हमें लाइफ में कुछ नहीं मिलता, सिर्फ हार, और हार के आगे कुछ नहीं। ये ईगो है जो हमें एग्रेशन देती है। और देख लीजिए, विलियम हैजलिट जैसा बंदा जिसकी डेथ हुई तो कोई नहीं था, सिर्फ लैम था। सो इफ यू हैव एनी काइंड ऑफ एग्रेशन, रिमूव इट थ्रू थ्रू मेडिटेशन, थ्रू रीडिंग, through good habits. It will be removed slowly and steadily, because ultimately aggression is not going to give you anything. Hazlitt ने बहुत सारे volumes of essays लिखे, and the most effective is The Spirit of the Age. The Spirit of the Age, and this was written in 1825. इसमें उसने क्या बताया है? He has given a critical picture portrait of a number of his famous contemporaries. Contemporaries को हिंदी में कहते हैं समकालीन, जो हमारे समय के 2, 4, 5 साल ऊपर नीचे लोग होते हैं। एंड यही वो वर्क था which only Hazlitt could undertake because he was outspoken. ये आउटस्पोकन ही लोग लिख सकते हैं, और जिनका एक्सप्रेशन फियरलेस हो, बिल्कुल ना डरने वाला। कभी कभी अपने रास्ते से वो हट जाता था ड्यू टू सम प्रेजुडिसेस, yet he took his criticism of art and literature as a whole. There is not the least doubt that there is great merit in it. तो ये बिल्कुल हम ना सोचें कि अगर ऐसा था तो उसमें लिटरेचर नहीं है। अनडाउटेडली उसमें भी मेरिट थी और लिटरेचर था। एंड जो हैजलिट का जो स्टाइल है ऐसे लिखने का, इट हैज अ लॉट ऑफ वाइटैलिटी, लॉट ऑफ ब्राइटनेस, लॉट ऑफ फोर्स एंड लॉट ऑफ इंडिविजुअलिज्म, एंड इट इज द रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ हिज ओन पर्सनैलिटी. एंड व्हाट इज हिज पर्सनैलिटी? आउटस्पोकन, स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड एंड वेरी फ्रैंक. क्योंकि उसने बहुत पढ़ा लिखा था, he had read widely, his mind was filled with the great store of learning. आप जितने भी बड़े ऑथर्स हैं, मिल्टन ले लीजिए, शेक्सपियर ले लीजिए, चौसर ले लीजिए, किसी को भी ले लीजिए, जिसके पास भी ज्यादा नॉलेज है, स्टोर हाउस ऑफ नॉलेज है, वो बहुत कुछ बता सकता है अपनी लर्निंग के वजह से. So he was also widely read, and his mind was filled with nourishment and learning. And then because of this, his writings were interspersed, means blended with sentences, with phrases taken from the other writers, and there you will find the echoes of the other writings or the phrases and the sentences blending in his work, in his style. And apart from all these things, his essays have a complete vibration of the vitality and the forces of his own personality, जो कि कभी भी essays को डल नहीं होने देता. So that is the style, that is the level of William Hazlitt. Last is Thomas De Quincey. Thomas De Quincey. Who was Thomas De Quincey, student? 1785 born. 1785 born. Born 1785 and died in 1859. He was also a great author, a great essayist, a great journalist, and born in Manchester. एक वर्क है उसका नोट कर लीजिए, द लॉजिक पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमी, द लॉजिक पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमी। और एक गॉथिक नॉवेल है जो अनसक्सेसफुल हो गई, उसका नाम है क्लॉस्टर हीम। पहला मैंने जो आपको बताया द लॉजिक पॉलिटिकल इकोनॉमी, वो 1841 का है। एंड दिस अनसक्सेसफुल गॉथिक नॉवेल क्लॉस्टर हीम, ये 1832 का है। इसके अलावा हिज एंटायर लिटरेरी आउटपुट इज magazines, articles, publications like Blackwood Magazine, the Glasgow Evening Post, and sometimes the Quarterly. As far as his subject matter is concerned, the subject matter of his writings, it ranges from criticism to political economy to metaphysics, and he has also been producing a number of translations, many biographical sketches, and a lot of imaginative proses. One of the best work written by De Quincey and world famous is none other than Confessions of an English Opium Eater, which is an autobiographical study of his opium addiction, and which also suggests that he read the prose and sermon literature of John Donne, Thomas Brown, Jeremy Taylor, and even Milton. He also published essays on Pope, Goldsmith, Coleridge, and even a great classicist, Richard Bentley, Shakespeare, Spenser, James Thomson, William Collins, Thomas Chatterton, Robert Burns, Robert Southey, Wordsworth. All these names, big names, were considered by De Quincey to be the highly rated authors in English writing. इतने सारे राइटर्स को De Quincey बहुत हाईली रेटेड मानता था। क्लियर? सो De Quincey, he used to admire Cowper and Dr. Johnson, and read the Arabian Nights and even the fables of Aesop. How? He read these how? In the words translations of Phaedrus, Phaedrus, in the words translations of Phaedrus. In his account, in his opinion, English drama was too good. And कभी उसके स्कूल मास्टर ने कहा था कि तुम रिचर्ड स्टील की स्पेक्टेटर जरूर पढ़ना। तो ही यूज्ड टू रीड स्पेक्टेटर, रिचर्ड स्टील की। और डॉक्टर सैमुअल जॉनसन ने, मैंने कल बताया था, एक वो निकाला था पीरियोडिकल जिसका नाम था रैम्बलर। ही ऑल्सो यूज्ड टू रीड डॉक्टर जॉनसन्स रैम्बलर एंड even other works. Thomas De Quincey was from a family who was prosperous, wealthy, but afterwards something happened that he suffered a lot because of poverty and even starvation. कॉलेज से, स्कूल से भाग गया आपने, and he used to roam aimlessly in London and even Wales. De Quincey was very close with the lake poets, Wordsworth, Coleridge, and Southey. And he wrote essays which appeared in the periodicals as well. Many of his original essays are about his personal experiences of eating opium and the addiction with opium. In 1817, he married Margaret Simpson. And this girl was the daughter of a local farmer, and with whom he had 8 children. And in the following year, मतलब 1818 में, having by then exhausted his private fortune, he started earning by nothing else but journalism. So in the end, students, I would again tell you that undoubtedly he was a minor writer, but he is known in the entire world of literature. So he is maybe minor, but he is not that small. He has a big name, maybe due to few of his works even. So here I have completed a great range of prose writers with their minute details. Now it is your homework and your duty to explore more on these topics, because I have given you the, you can say, जिसको कहते हैं ना पल्स पकड़ाना, कि हाउ यू हैव टू गो विद इट. मैंने आपको नस पकड़ा दी है, पल्स बता दिया है, बहुत सारी डिटेल्स बता दिए हैं. इस पे वर्किंग आप जितनी अच्छी करेंगे उतना आपका ब्रेन नरिश होगा, उतना फिल्टरेशन करने में आपको आसानी होगी. सो ये ध्यान रखिएगा कि फिल्टरेशन इज नॉट डन ओनली बाय द रियल नॉलेज, कि आपको वो आना चाहिए. Filtration is done, segregation is done by the entire range of knowledge which you have, and then you segregate कि नहीं ये नहीं ये नहीं ये नहीं ये हो सकता है, क्योंकि ये दो तो हो ही नहीं सकता, ये तो ऐसे ऐसे कट गया बच्चे दो. अब दो में ये पढ़ा था, ऐसे पढ़ा था, ये पढ़ा था, यहां पे ये किया था, तो ये नहीं हो सकता. तो अल्टीमेटली जो फोर्थ आपका या जो बी ए बी सी डी बचा वो सही निकलेगा. एंड लिटिल नॉलेज इज ऑलवेज अ डेंजरस थिंग. So don't have little knowledge, but have knowledge which should actually help you in qualifying this exam, and which we are already into it. Thank you so much students. So meet you tomorrow once again. कोई भी दिक्कत हो मुझे WhatsApp कर सकते हैं आप. Bye bye.